This is my Panasonic GH6, or as I like to call it, my GH Swiss, because this is my all-in-one, do-everything handheld camera rig. Hey everybody, welcome to the adventure. My name is Lee. If you're new to the channel, welcome. In this video, I'm going to dive into all the accessories I have on my camera rig, explain why I purchased each one, and explain some of their functionality. This camera can also be quickly stripped down to just the cage, camera, and lens in a matter of seconds. You can also quickly mount this camera directly on a tripod, and it has a chest pad for extra handheld stabilization. I've been shooting on the Panasonic GH line of cameras since I first purchased the Panasonic GH4 back in 2014. Now I understand the Micro Four Thirds lens system does not fit everyone's preferences, but I have genuinely discovered that this camera system fits all of my camera needs. It combines versatility in a compact form factor. The cameras and lenses are less expensive than traditional full frame, and the accessories are typically cheaper. Not to mention it has exceptional image quality. If you're already shooting with this camera system, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I use this camera for a wide range of purposes, including real estate, even photography, commercial advertising, and event services. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at each accessory, and I'll explain why I made this choice. There will be affiliate links down below to all the products I mentioned in today's video. Using the affiliate link does not cost you anything, but it will help my channel grow by giving me a small commission. So starting with the camera, the Panasonic GH6, I love this camera at its price because it records in ProRes. You can also record to an SSD with Blackmagic RAW. You can record up to, I believe, 1900 megabits. It's 422 10-bit. Or you could also record into a vlog profile. This camera is 5.7K and can record 120 frames per second in 4K. It also allows you to record in a 4:3 aspect ratio when using OpenGate, and has the option to use anamorphic lenses. Alright, now speaking of lenses, there are a ton of really great Micro Four Thirds lenses out there. The one I'm going to talk about today, and the one that I usually use mounted on my camera when doing run and gun type events, is the Panasonic Lumix 12-35. Now this is a constant 2.8 aperture, no matter where you're at within the focal length. It also features autofocus and optical image stabilization. Now when you pair that optical image stabilization with the built-in in-body stabilization of the GH6, it's absolutely incredible how steady of shots you can actually get when going handheld. Now this gives me just the right amount of zoom if I'm doing some sort of event and there's a lot of dynamic changes where I need to zoom in on something or catch something that's happening really quickly far away. It's not a super zoom, but it's enough to get me by in those events without having to change a lens. Now let's take a minute to talk about the cage. I opted to go with the SmallRig Black Mamba cage because it is so compact. It also had a NATO rel integration and an Arca Swiss bottom plate. I found this cage to also be the most compact and form-fitting. And it has a ton of mounting options. Now let's talk audio for a minute. I added the Sennheiser microphone. It's a smaller microphone. It comes with a little dead cat for wind protection. This is just kind of my run and gun microphone that's on here. It's not anything super special, but it does get the job done. It's better than the one that's built into the camera. But I also opt to use the DJI wireless microphone as well, which I just usually clip onto my hot shoe or one of the cold shoe attachments if I'm going to be doing some sort of interview. Now, as I mentioned before, I did put a small light on this camera. I went with a Lume Cube light. There's other manufacturers out there that make a similar style light. It comes with a diffuser that's either more of a yellow or a white. You know, nothing super special. It's not a controllable light, but this light has saved me in a pinch before. When it's just a little bit too dark to capture what you need to, I can turn this light on if you're doing a run and gun type of event, and it just really gets you out of a pinch in case you need a little bit of extra light. Now for the monitor, I decided to go with the PortKeys PT5 monitor. This is a touchscreen monitor with false color, focus peaking, and one of the main reasons I went for this monitor is because of the size. It's just a nice compact little size. I have a larger monitor, and man, this thing is such a difference to have a small little monitor on there. It's plenty bright, and it also comes with a sunshade. If you're not shooting with a monitor, I highly recommend that you get one because it makes a world of difference. Now let's go on to what I call the sled. This is made by SmallRig. It is a V-mount battery attachment that goes onto the bottom of the camera and can quickly be removed, and it features a spot for a shoulder chest pad. Now it does not have any electronic connections for the V-mount battery, but the V-mount battery that I chose for this camera rig has all of the DTAP and USB ports built onto it. Originally, when I started to build this, I had a different rig system with rails. One of the key features on this is that you can twist this knob and your battery folds down so you can fold out your screen easily or access cables or whatever you need to do. Now, speaking of the V-mount battery, I went with the Came TV small battery. It has a USB port and 2 D-taps. Now, this is much smaller than a traditional V-mount battery, but I found that this powers my monitor, recharges my light, and powers the camera almost for the entire day that I'm shooting. I mean, I've got probably 6, 7, 8 hours out of it when I'm using the camera on and off. And it's perfect for a small compact rig like I was going for. Now, there are also several cables that go into this camera system. There's a USB that powers my light. There is also a USB-A to USB-C that actually powers the camera. I decided to go with this option to power the camera as opposed to a D-tap that goes directly into the bottom, like to a false battery. And the reason I did that was for redundancy. I actually have a USB-C powering the camera, and I have a regular battery inside the GH6. It's constantly just being charged by this USB-C cable. This gives me redundancy in case I were to deplete all of my available battery on the V-mount. I would still have a fully charged battery inside the camera by the time the V-mount was dead. Now, this is just a personal choice. You could go with a dummy battery and power your camera that way if that's something you choose to do. It would definitely save you a few grams by doing that. I also have a short HDMI with a straight end on one side and then a 90-degree turn on the other, and it's just the right size to be able to have my camera screen and flip my camera screen around when I need to record myself. Now, for the side handle, I decided to go with the Nitsy ergonomic handle, and then I tried 3 or 4 different handles before I settled on this one. This handle is so comfortable. Plus, it comes with a nice little cold shoe mount on the top for all of your accessories, plus some other mounting points. Now, the big thing that I discovered on this camera system is how valuable the NATO rail system is. I actually have my monitor connected with the NATO rail system as well as my side handle. If you're not familiar with this system, it's just a small mount that you can slide on quickly, turn a knob, and then the accessory can be removed very, very quickly. Now, for the top handle, I went with the Nitsy handle as well. It's a shorter handle, it's very ergonomic, feels comfortable, and it also has the NATO rail attachment, so I can quickly remove this handle when needed. And of course, it has tons of spots for mounting. Now, one cool little trick I saw from this YouTuber right here, he was actually using a rifle strap to hook up to his camera system. I decided to copy this idea and order one of the swivel mount bases. I had to drill it out to get it to fit onto the camera, but I got a nice little rifle sling that's got a quick connect that you can just press, throw this thing around your shoulder. You can also tighten it with the adjustable strap very, very quickly, cinch it up next to yourself. This is a game changer. I would highly recommend this for your gimbal or handheld camera rig. Now, for storage, I decided to go with a 1 terabyte CFast Type B card. Now, the reason I did this as opposed to an external SSD is because I wanted to keep everything internal. I wanted to keep everything nice and neat. Now, these cards are pretty pricey, but it is really nice to know that I have 1 terabyte of internal storage that I can record at any format, any speed to this card, and it's not gonna have a problem at all. Now, I also have a regular SD card, a pro grade card inside here in case I for some reason run out of room on the 1 terabyte. It is a little bit of redundancy. All right, now this is one of my favorite parts. It's so simple, but this is a NiceRig base plate. This base plate basically gives you a nice wide footprint so you can set your camera down without scratching up a surface or without worrying about the camera tipping over because of a heavy lens or side to side. It is sturdy as can be, and it has an Arca Swiss mount built into the bottom of it, which allows you to quickly connect this to any tripod instantly. I also decided to get a matte box system for this camera, not necessarily for the ND filters or the Pro Mist filters or anything like that. I'm actually using it just as a light diffusion to block some of the light coming in. It's been really great for blocking out the sun. It's got this adjustable sunshade on the top. Now, it does have room for glass to be able to be slidden in. This is a small one. One thing I absolutely love about this matte box as opposed to many of the other ones on the market is it actually allows you to still screw on a threaded lens filter. So if you already have an ND filter for that lens, you can actually still screw it on directly using the ring adapter. Now, I did purchase a separate ring adapter kit, so I pretty much have the full gamut of ring sizes for all my different lenses. It is a separate purchase from the original matte box for the size of lenses that I had, but I was okay with that because I really am enjoying the quality of this matte box. And let's not forget that matte boxes give you that little extra look of professionalism when you show up on a job. Okay, I also chose to go with a variable ND on this setup because I want to be able to set in my aperture, lock in my settings on my camera, and just easily be able to adjust the variable ND filter just by twisting it. I went with a K&F Concepts variable ND that has between 1 and 9 stops. I found that this ND filter doesn't have any vignetting or any weird cross-hatching or anything like that. I've been really happy with this for its price. And like I said, that ND filter will actually still screw on to my matte box, which is a huge bonus. One of the biggest advantages of this rig is the stability. Even though I'm shooting handheld, the GH6 camera actually has in-body stabilization, and paired with several of the lenses in their lineup that have optical image stabilization, it is just amazing. You can also turn on a boost stabilization as well as an electronic stabilization to take it to the next level. I'm also usually able to shoot on one battery depending on the length of the event or what I'm doing with the single V-mount battery. The way I also have this camera configured, it's in a redundant fashion where each device actually has a battery, so even if the V-mount were to go down, all of the devices would be able to continue running if I lost complete power on the V-mount. And if I quickly take off a few of the accessories, I can also quickly put it onto a gimbal. Now, hopefully this video has been useful, and some of my explanations will kind of help you make a decision if you're looking at rigging out your own camera. Again, I want to remind you guys there are affiliate links down below to all of the gear that's mentioned in today's video. I would love to have you back to watch another one of my videos in the future, so please consider subscribing and leaving a thumbs up. I do a lot of FPV drone videos as well as camera reviews and GPS drone stuff. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. My name is Lee, and this is The Adventure.